Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is episode number 3 of Facebook Live with Matthew. And I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I'm going to treat the next 30 minutes as a much needed distraction. There is appalling, horrific, just devastating on so many levels what's happening in Ukraine, and I have to recognize that. And I just have this, like this heavy, there's a heaviness to me right now. So what I purposely did, or what I did not do, was watch any type of media, any type of social media within the last couple of hours leading up to this. Because I know the situation is bad. I know the situation will probably get worse. So that being said, just put out whatever you believe in. If you want to send out healing vibes, healing energy, if you want to kneel and pray tonight, if you want to sing, if you want to chant, if you want to beat a drum, whatever you need to do, whatever you feel that you're capable of doing, we need to come together collectively for the soldiers, the residents, the people of Ukraine, the neighboring countries, Canada. We have HMCS Halifax just left 48 hours ago. So, and I don't want to get sidetracked. I apologize, but I needed to address the elephant in the room, as they say. Joanne is in here. Good evening. Hello. My name is Matthew, and this is Facebook Live with Matthew. And in the next few moments, I'm going to be speaking with Stephen Wilsack, who is instrumental in what I'm doing right now, as far as just pushing me, making me not so much think outside the box, but really commit to something that I am passionate about, which in its simplest form, in a nutshell, the Coles Notes, Don Campbell, it's just the ability to continue to communicate with you, whoever is watching right now, whoever you are, wherever you are on this planet. I appreciate the live views, and if you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. So we are waiting for Stephen Wilsack, and anyone who has seen this show knows that all I did this afternoon, and to note, the last two things that I talk about, and the target is 30 minutes, which I don't think will be a problem. I could easily fill 30 minutes myself, but I am waiting for Stephen Wilsack. Just give me a moment here, because there are a couple of options, and this is only the second time I've done Facebook Live in a while. I had Nick Moulet on last night, who's celebrating a birthday today. We had no problem connecting. Okay, so I see Steve is in here, but I don't see a prompt for me to bring him on. Usually there's a prompt that says bring him on camera. So if there is any way, Stephen, for you to join the broadcast, and I can accept the invitation, or plan number 2 is I try and search for you. But that's always a bit touchy. So let me do that right now. Let's see who I can add. Here we are. Okay, Stephen, I see you. So I have sent an invitation to Stephen Wilsack. So I'm hoping that the next person that you see will be Stephen Wilsack, split screen here. So I'm just waiting for the prompt. I'm hoping that it goes through and that he is added to the broadcast. But what I was saying while we wait for Stephen to join the broadcast And I'm not sure if he has to be on a certain device. It may be a little bit different story, whether he's on his iPad or his home computer or his phone. I guess that's something that we'll find out together. But again, just waiting for Stephen Wilsack, who is in just another part of Nova Scotia, Wolfville area. He's actually closer to New Brunswick than he is to the Atlantic Ocean. But what I did earlier today is I just went through his Facebook, and then I just did some Google search. So I have been communicating with Stephen since last July. We have met once. We had a brief video a couple of days ago. So everything that I'm getting ready to ask him, I will be really finding out along with you. And he has a tie to my sister-in-law, Lori. So I had heard stories about Stephen and his wife, Jane Ann, for years before we even met. So we're going to talk about that. So I'm just going to look for Stephen Wilsack. There are a ton of people that I could invite to the broadcast, but I'm specifically looking for, I feel like a game show host, I'm specifically looking for participants. So I'm going to go back out into the audience. So pardon my fingers, actually, you won't see that. Stephen Wilsack. So it's telling me that I have sent the invitation to Stephen. I'm just awaiting his device to receive that information. So that being said, while I wait for Stephen, while I have some people in here, I might as well recognize things that I was going to save for the end. So I'll just get it out of the way with now. The first thing is this is the last weekend of February of 2022. We are, okay, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so it says that he's going to come into the broadcast. I will approve it. Send the invite. So the next person that you see will be Stephen Wilsack. It's telling me that he's being added, and then it will connect, and we'll see Stephen. Facebook keeping us in complete suspense. It just tells me that he's adding. I don't want to get into the story, so I'll save those for the end. So again, I'll just wait for Stephen Wilsack. Just a human extraordinaire. I coined that phrase. So they do get different weather in the part of Nova Scotia that Stephen is in. There may be a little extra snow on the wires. The guest declined. Okay, so Stephen is telling me that you have declined this invitation, and I think it may just be an issue of slow connection. So this is all part of being live. This is all part of technology, and it's fine. It's totally good. So just let me do this again because, okay, it's been sent. So I can't reboot anything. So Stephen, if you can just go out of the program, maybe try and get on a different device. It may be something as simple as that. It may be a setting. It may be a setting on your device. I don't know. But you go live all the time. So you are no stranger to getting in front of the camera. So we're probably going to go over 30 minutes because there's information on here that I want to extract from Stephen. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole purpose. So I think I'm going to have a few moments while we try and get Stephen in here. Worst case scenario, he calls me and I put him on speakerphone and I just take this out so that everyone can hear. At least we would have audio, but that's definitely going to be a last resort because I believe that we can get him on here. So we'll certainly try. But getting back to the two things that I wanted to talk about at the end, which I'll do right now. This is the last weekend of February. The province of Nova Scotia is lifting mandates in March. Everything will pretty much be said and done by the end of next month. New Brunswick is lifting restrictions. March seems to be the month when we will be given the opportunity to just live with the virus. So all those individuals who didn't get vaccinated, you don't obviously have a vaccination passport or identification. You outlasted this program to get vaccinated. So that's fine and dandy. Everyone is allowed to go back their daily lives, but I caution you that the virus is still out there, right? The virus is still there. So we will be mingling for the rest of our lives with this virus and other viruses that come along. So I just hope that you don't get sick. I just hope that you don't get sick. That's all. So, but my point is, with all the provinces lifting their mandates, I'm curious if the individuals behind the weekend marches, the weekend protest, the camps, the individuals that are still set outside Ottawa, will they continue to rail against just completely ending the mandates when we know within 30 days that's going to be the story? And I just think that if they continue to go hard at it, then maybe it really wasn't about dropping mandates at all. There was definitely something more sinister at the core of that movement. Unfortunately, it just got hijacked in so many different ways. Anyway, next month, we did it. We can actually start calling it an endemic and just live with it. Survival of the fittest, our real life, our very own Hunger Games. And just to add to that, a lot of controversy with the Prime Minister putting forth the Emergencies Act, voting on it, getting support from the NDP, and then two days later, 48 hours later, revoked it. So he did what he said he was going to do, and by that, he said that when it was no longer needed, when those powers were no longer needed, that he would revoke it, and that's exactly what he did. So, and now we're focused on another. What happened in Ottawa fails in comparison to what is happening right now in Ukraine. Because most people that were in Ottawa protesting, occupying, whatever you want to call it, if they're not in jail, and there's probably only a few of them, they're home now. They're home, quite possibly watching another war unfold right before their very eyes. So just, I've said this many times, just be thankful that you're in this. Be thankful that you're Canadian. Actually, you don't have to be thankful that you're Canadian. Maybe there's a lot of people out there that are ashamed to be Canadian right now. And that is your right, but put that aside and be thankful that even if you are ashamed of being Canadian in the moment, be thankful that you live in Canada. Be thankful that you are in the safe boundaries for now of this country. Yes? Okay, let's try this again. Everything I needed to say, I got out of the way, and we're going to try. I am approving. Stephen Wilsack wants to join on camera. Yes, I'm again sending the invite. It's telling me that it's adding. Maybe he's changed devices.
Wow.
We will see. There he is. There he is. How are you, Stephen?
How you doing, buddy?
Good. Did you change devices?
I have 3 computers in front of me.
Okay.
And yeah, so my apologies for technical difficulties. But
no worries.
Yeah, so we're actually broadcasting on my phone.
Yes, I was, people have had problems connecting, and this is only the second time I've done Facebook Live in a while. So sometimes it depends. Sometimes it hasn't worked at all with someone who's on a home computer or a tablet. So, but here you are. And in the last couple of days, I have given the backstory a little bit about how you and I are connected. But what I want to spend the next few moments doing, and I don't know if you caught the very top of this, for me, this is going to be a distraction. Speaking with you for the next few moments because of everything else that's going on in the world. And I was saying before you came on that I purposely didn't watch any news, any social media before coming on here because I wanted to be in this mindset. So this is a break from all the horrific stuff that's happening in Ukraine. So thank you for being my distraction tonight, Stephen.
No problem. My wife says the same thing.
Yes. So I'm hoping that we get some different viewers. I'm hoping some of your friends may join in. But and I know that it doesn't really matter how many people are watching live. It's always about the content of the program.
I'll share this with my friends. This is something that I would normally do, but I'll just share it. Sure.
Perfect.
Hi.
So I was saying that your wife, Jane Ann, is childhood friends with my sister-in-law, Lori, and they have known each other. And I just sent a text to Lori not too long ago. I wanted to confirm how long they've known each other. Since grade 8. Your wife and my sister-in-law, Lori, have known each other. And we've known about you two through many stories after supper at the Beck's place for many years. So we kind of knew the people that you were. So I'm wondering, did you have any idea of what was happening out west? Did you ever hear of me or anything that was going on out here?
The story from my perspective had a lot to do with Jane Ann and Lori, and that was the connection. Jane Ann went out to their wedding years ago as well. And other than that, it was just, and I never met Lori. And Lori and I are on Instagram, and we like each other's posts. And it's one of those neat things where we have this human connection, and it's really hard to describe, but through technology, we're able to, even with what we're doing and how we communicate together, technology has brought us together, and that's the neat part about all of this. And the human connection that we always talk about, it's stronger than ever. I look at technology and what we're doing here, and I use that in a positive environment, and in terms of distractions and negativity, I don't look at that. And so that's the connection. And I'm really hoping someday that all of us will be able to get together around the dinner table and be able to share our memories together. And it's the hi and the hello, and even the way that we met. It was just a very casual reaching out, and as you saw, the hospitality of Nova Scotia is alive and well. And whenever I'm traveling, even abroad, and I was out to Vancouver last year, I want to show the connection, and even I commend you with what you did with your flag, going all across Canada and getting signatures and bringing people together just to have a communication. And I think that's amazing. So that's the connection. And I know our journey together has just begun. And I know that we're going to challenge each other and figure out what this is all about. But and thank you very much for the opportunity to be a part of your journey. It warms my heart.
Awesome. I appreciate that. For those that are maybe just tuning in, you're scrolling through Facebook. My name is Matthew. This is Facebook Live with Matthew. This is Stephen Wilsack. I want to get to know you, and I want the audience to get to know you. So just within, I want to keep this within a 30-minute time frame. I know you were a little bit late getting in, but I'm not going to skip anything. But I'm just wondering, in the Cole's notes, as my wife likes to say, Jen, what was Stephen Wilsack like as a little boy, into adolescent, into high school, and into Acadia University, where my sister was there in 86, 87. So just chronologically, in a fun little story way, what were you like growing up, Stephen?
Wow. I've been asked a lot of questions over the years, but I haven't been asked that one.
Mm.
Uh, geez, I think my mom and my sister are watching. They'd be better able to answer that. But from my perspective, I was always independent, a little bit of a rebel, um, mischievous at times, and got myself into a whole lot of trouble when I was younger. Um, and I think it was sports that really changed my life. And I had a couple of mentors, and mentors to me is everything. And I try to pass that on today, and in some form or another. But in my youth, I was heavily involved primarily in basketball and running, and did my first marathon when I was 14 years old, uh, and played high school basketball. Actually, one of my favorite photos that I have is right in the background, and that's a picture of my father who just passed away just over a year ago, and my mother and myself, and we were running in the Johnny Miles Marathon all in the same day, and so that was part of my childhood. Very brought up in Stellarton, Pictou County. Nova Scotia is home, and grew up in a small town, and my heart is still there with Pictou County. My mother and my sister is still living there today. And then after high school, made the journey into university, went to St. FB's the first year, and then did a transfer down to Acadia. Took business administration. Then that was a journey within itself, and that was back in the 80s. Then I met my lovely wife at the time, and we're celebrating our 36th year of marriage, and
Nice.
haven't left Acadia. And we're still in Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
Nice. Thanks again for doing this, Stephen. This really, going back to, you had mentors. Like I've had, and I talked about this a few nights ago, I could list off 4 or 5 people who are instrumental in doing what I'm doing right now. And you're the individual that I've been searching for quite a while. And I had made reference about not using searching. It's all about being on the same frequency. You are the individual here on the East Coast that I think will, just keep me progressing forward, because that's really the only way that you can go, right? You're always evolving as an artist. So I thank you. I thank you for that. I just want to switch gears.
I have to thank you, Matt, because it's people like you that provide inspiration, and sometimes whether it's mentors or friends or whatever it is, but it's so easy not to do things. And what I've been about is challenging myself and having conversations with other people and making them the best that they can be, and then also providing doors and opportunities for them to go through. And I think that's the journey that we're on. So I'll leave it at that, but thank you.
Okay, excellent. I just want to change gears here real quick. You said your mother and your Jane Ann is watching?
I believe my mother's watching, and my lovely wife Jane Ann's always in the background supporting me.
Well, just yesterday, the premier, and I'm not going to get too political. I just want to know your thoughts. Next month at this time, restrictions will be lifted. What was your reaction when the Premier and Dr. Strang made that announcement yesterday, as a Nova Scotian, as a Canadian who's been going through this for the last 2 years?
Initially, I thought, wow, we're getting political a little bit. This is good. I like it. Thanks for making me digest this a little bit. I'm really, really pleased that we're progressing. It's been a challenge for a lot of Nova Scotians, and I say that just because we're a very close-knit community, and we like to hug people. We love to spend time together. You know, we're traditional kitchen parties, and this has been a challenge for a lot of people from Nova Scotia. And we're also very polite, and we want to do the right thing. So I'm optimistic that we have turned the corner, and I think the decision is timely, and it's time for all of us to get on with their lives and see what people look like and see how much they aged in 2 years.
Absolutely. Well, let's just continue. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Stephen.
No, go ahead. I'll leave it.
Okay, I just wanted to continue the laughter and try and maybe spark a debate in your own house, because I'm just like I went through your Facebook today and I Google searched you, so that's where all this information is coming from. But this is a light-hearted question. I want to know from Nova Scotia, what is your favorite seafood dish, and what is your favorite seafood dish that Jane Ann prepares, or even your mother for that matter?
Oh, my favorite. Well, we're all about the lobster.
Okay.
Like, you know, I can't go anywhere in Canada without talking about lobster. The first thing I did when I was out in Vancouver, I'm looking for a Nova Scotian lobster. So we, you know, we have, Christmas time. It's all about the lobster and seafood, and just the ability, how to cook a lobster, and it's such a family tradition. So, without a doubt, and second place in the Annapolis Valley has to be Digby scallops. So, between both of them, it's just last weekend we had Digby scallops. Christmas time, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, huge display of lobster. We invite friends and family. We come together. So that's the tradition.
Perfect. Sounds yummy.
Really
you like to do what I do. I like to get in front of the camera and have fun. I have a YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel that you had for like 8 years. You have hundreds of videos. So people know why I do what I do. Why do you have a YouTube channel? What kind of content are you putting up there? And why? Why do you feel it's necessary for people to see what Steve Wilsack is doing in front of the camera?
Wow. Again, Matt, questions are really, really good. And I challenged you when we started this to do your homework and, make sure if you're going to do this, then do it well. And I have to commend you on that. I'm not, I feel like we're patting each other's on the back. But, so
no, I appreciate it. It's all good.
Yeah. For me, well, back in high school, I'll reverse it a little bit. I had an opportunity back in the cable days, do a high school television program, a weekly event. We did this in grade 10, 11, and 12. My sister helped out on camera. We had a bunch of high school students just basically produce a weekly show. And this is back in the 70s. This is black and white. We just go up and just do our thing. And that was the first time I had a chance to really get in front of the camera and and also just be able to communicate and see what that's all about, and also to you know, it's a lot of self-awareness, and then also being able to feel comfortable in front of the camera. So that's how it all began, and then over the years, just always liked multimedia, and involved in the technology business for a number of years, and multimedia, DJ'd for 25 years. So it was just kind of a natural progression.
Okay.
And then when I was in, we've been in Wolfville, my wife's been here for over 50 years. I've been here almost 40 years. And as you can see from some of my videos, you know, they're not professional. Some are, some aren't. But it was, for me, it's almost like a digital footprint, a digital legacy. And at some point, I started, especially around Nova Scotia, start just capturing the time period, capturing the moments. One of the fondest memories that I have of video is my grandfather holding the old camera and just capturing, you know, Christmas footage, you know, home movies. And I tell you, out of all the possessions that I have, those are the most valuable of you know, of the digital journey that we're on. I even look back on some of the videos today, and the timeline and how much things have changed. In university, I did a video documentary on the Kippawa, and that was a ferry that sailed between Wolfville, Parsboro, and Kingsport. And I interviewed some professors. Jack Sheriff is one. He's since passed, but nobody has that story. And to have that captured, to me, means everything. So the more that we can share meaningful digital memories, I think that's really, really important. And some of the things that I just do for fun. Last couple of weekends, we're living our storm every weekend, and geez, I laughed so hard just doing a couple minutes of just, you know, we're having all this storm, and I'm saying, what can we do to make this fun? And I went out and I just had some fun with it. So,
nice.
So to me, that's what this, you know, it's not about selling stuff. It's not about, you know, how many likes that we can get anymore. This is pretty raw stuff, you know, even doing what we're doing, you know, like we're putting ourselves out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So your progression, 1970, you get to a point where you are now a member of ACTRA and a member of the Directors Guild of Canada. How satisfying, how rewarding is it to be a part of those two organizations? And how hard was it to get there?
Yeah. Again, this is just the love of multimedia, the love of making film, and the grind. In my early years, I did a lot of producing and directing and doing some documentaries and that kind of thing. And then I didn't realize this whole world of acting, this whole world of film existed. And then I found out one day that there's some background required for Call Me Fitz, and it was a TV series that was being filmed in New Minas, Nova Scotia. And then next thing you know, I find out that they're looking for background people. And I didn't know what really that was, other than they were going to pay me to sit around and talk and do nothing and keep my mouth shut. So that sounded like a pretty good gig. So that kind of progressed to doing a lot of background. Had an opportunity to go on This Hour 22 Minutes several times. Did quite a bit of background acting in some of the film and motion pictures that came to Nova Scotia, large budgets, small budgets. And then one day I get a call, Stephen, what size are you? I said, I'm a big boy. He said, I'm 6 feet. How much do you weigh? I said, well, I put on some weight. I'm a couple 100 pounds right now. He says, well, come on down. I might have a gig for you. Okay. What's it about? He said, well, we need you to fill into a costume for a TV series called Haven. And Haven was being filmed in the South Shore. And the sci-fi people who know it well. They wanted me in a costume to be a dancing bear. And I auditioned for that. A lot of previous experience, and I got the part. As a DJ, so I knew how to dance. I've been in a few costumes over my years, so I got a couple credits from that. Did some more acting, and next thing you know, I'm a permittee member of ACTRA. Very rewarding. Love the organization, love the camaraderie. Some of my best friends are within the acting community. And I just love being around the set. And I don't care if I'm in front of the camera. I don't aspire to that by any means. And I just love the atmosphere. I finally found the circus where all of us are just these amazing individuals that have a unique skill set. And I had a friend of mine, Chris Poole, who's actively involved in the film industry, allowed me to get on set, helping out in the locations department. And another great friend, Heather Harvey, invited me on to be a PA on one of the sets, and they seemed to like what I did. Worked very hard. You know, anything from being picking up garbage on the set to helping out with Sigourney Weaver. So you know, that progressed, and the next thing you know, I ended up doing some other gigs and had an opportunity to work with couple of local productions, and next thing you know, I'm doing a first AD. So it just that's how it all happens. Those are some of the organizations that I'm associated with, and very proud of it. The Directors Guild of Canada is an organization all across Canada that it's an amazing group of talented individuals. So that's the journey there.
Okay, excellent. You're like a really great person to chat with. You're just, you know how to like fill in the blanks and color and make a nice picture. But I'm only going to keep you here for just two more things, if you're okay with that, Stephen.
Yeah.
Just quickly, what is one of your most favorite highlights behind a camera? Perhaps, you know, being on a set. Yeah, let's just start with that, and then I'll ask you one final thing, and then I'll let you go. Just a highlight.
Oh, wow. I guess behind the camera, lately, my journey has been a unique one. I transitioned over to health and safety. And one of my most magical moments was when I got a phone call from a dear friend and mentor. His name's Richard, out of California. And he says to me that we need some help. And next thing you know, I'm on a plane going to Vancouver to work behind the scenes on a Steven Spielberg feature doing health and safety. And just, you know, you talk about being behind the scenes, just get to see everything. And to just see Vancouver and to work with some of the unique individuals, the talent that was brought on there. I don't want to, say too much about the feature, but, very magical, and just love the journey. And that's what it's all about.
Well, that leads me into the final thing. You've heard the term starstruck. So I'm just wondering, aside from seeing your own reflection in the mirror, when was the last time you were starstruck?
Oh, wow. I guess the most unique one that if I was starstruck, was Sigourney Weaver, and she worked on a film here in Nova Scotia called The Good House, and part of being on set is that you do not talk to the actors, especially some of these very talented individuals. That they're on their game, and I'll never forget on set, and I'm just walking by Sigourney, and Sigourney says, "And who are you?" I don't even know what to say at that point. And I basically told her who I was, and then a few days later, we're literally having conversations, and again, professionally, you're not to get engaged, but if they say hello to you, you have a conversation with them, and you talk about Star Trek. That was a pretty neat moment, but the connection that, and I'll just share this one with you, is that one of the scenes in the movie is that they want you. It's an AA meeting, and she has to go in, and she's one of the ones that have to say, this is my story. This is my first meeting. And, so Sigourney asked me to be one of the background actors in the movie. Again, I'm just getting starstruck. So, okay, well, Sigourney asked me, I guess I have to do that. And then about 15 minutes before we start filming, she comes over and said, "Stephen, I'm asking you for some advice about the AA meeting." And again, I'm just starstruck. Like, I'm just trying to hold it together. And then the first AD comes over. "What are you doing talking to Sigourney Weaver?" I said, "She asked me." That's it. So that's my Star Trek moment. So, anyways, I have a couple other stories, but that's a good one.
That's amazing. Yeah, you guys, you just hung out for a bit. That's amazing that she came to you for advice. That's great. That's a great story, Stephen. So let's. Okay, I don't want to leave it at that. I want to, because you love the outdoors. You born and raised in Nova Scotia. Someone who, this is my first winter in Nova Scotia, and I haven't complained about the winter yet. I just find it fascinating, especially the temperature. It's just up and down, up and down. But I'm going to ask you specifically, in your opinion, what are the top 3 winter to-do things? What should people do? What should you be absolutely necessary that you do if given the opportunity in Nova Scotia in the winter for fun, for like a family outing? What would you suggest?
Ooh. Well, the Oval in Halifax is such a unique experience, and I think we should try to do something like that. Whether it's skating or somewhere near your neighborhood. I have fond memories of in our backyard in Stellarton, and my father doing rinks and skating. And just to get out and to experience the outdoors, to me, that's what it's all about. I'm very passionate about walking. That makes me very happy. And in terms of winter, put on that 3 or 4 layers and just go out for a walk and experience this amazing winter that we're having. To me, that's what it's about. The other one is even going for a drive for a day or a weekend and explore your backyard of Nova Scotia. I have to tell you, I've spent more time in Nova Scotia the past 2 years because of the pandemic, and we've done staycations, and we don't need to go traveling afar. My wife and I recently went and stayed in a local Airbnb that's 5 miles away, and I have to tell you, it was probably one of our best vacations we ever had, and it was for 24 hours. So to me, that's what we should do in Nova Scotia, and eat lots of lobster.
Excellent. That was just a great way to end it with the mention again of delicious lobster. Stephen, for the record, I want to thank you for pushing me, for challenging me, and like you mentioned, this is just the beginning of, well, we can't have any expectations, but I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out okay.
I think it's going to be okay. Well, thanks a lot, Matt, and I wish you all the well on the journey. And after you do the 5 days, you have to do another 5 days, and you're on the right track.
Absolutely.
My friend.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm enjoying
cheers.
it. It's yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Stephen.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye. Oh, there he goes. Awesome. Okay, that was a lot of fun. And everything that I wanted to say right now, I said at the beginning. So, in closing, a big thank you to Stephen Wilsack and just everyone who was watching live. And if you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. I'm going to tell you something. 47 minutes. So we spoke for 47 minutes. And 47 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, actually since this afternoon, to be completely honest, I've had this weight has been in my gut. And it was all because I was just consumed by what was happening in Ukraine. Yeah, we should be aware of what's going on there. But I just felt dread and sadness. So I purposely didn't watch anything that was going on before doing this 9 o'clock show, because I know what's on the other end of this broadcast. And maybe just to finish off, it might be a real good idea if the one thing that you take away from this evening, aside from Stephen being a remarkable human, get outside, reconnect with Mother Nature, and step away from social media. Just be alone with yourself. Just be alone with yourself. Be in the moment. Yes. Joanna's starstruck with Stephen. That's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed the third episode of Facebook Live with Matthew. I'm going to close up shop, make myself a coffee, and get ready for tomorrow night's show. Can't end this without mentioning what's happening tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, my 4th episode, I'll be speaking with Simon McGinnis, who is in Conception Bay, South Newfoundland. We'll talk about his podcast and his project that he's a part of called Quilts of Valor. So tomorrow night, we'll be speaking with an individual that I've known for many years. We graduated high school together back in Woodstock, New Brunswick, 1991. Simon McGinnis tomorrow night. And then on Monday night, I'll be speaking with Christy Carter, an individual who I haven't even met yet. We've only communicated once. And I have, Stephen, if you're still in here, I have put a request out to MJ Miller. I sent her a voice message to see if she might be interested in doing what you just did. So if you had fun, Stephen, maybe send her a message and see if she might want to do the exact same thing. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy your Friday. Bad weather. moving in here. But in closing, please keep the 40 million plus Ukrainians close to your heart tonight. This is Facebook Live with Matthew. Good night.